also have wacky parents. I recently had to explain to my mom the difference between a butt dial and a booty call. Extremely uncomfortable. Midnight, the phone rang. I was like, Mom, are you okay? She's like, sorry, it was just a booty call. Mom, how many people have you said this to? She's like, hold on, I'm booty calling your brother. We'll make it a three-way. I gotta go, Mom. My stomach hurts. My mom was just here. My parents visited for 4th of July. I live in Brooklyn. We had a fun moment. We were walking around Brooklyn. We walked past this woman who had a shirt that said Feminist AF. And my mom was like, I didn't realize they had an Air Force. I seized the moment. I was like, yeah, they totally do. My mom turned to the woman. She's like, thank you for your service. The woman paused and she's like, every day's a battle. And they both saluted. I think I just started something. I live in the big city. I'm from Florida. Everyone said the hardest thing about the city would be the winter. It's definitely the eye contact. I look at everybody. I do. And if you look at the wrong person, like, you can feel it. I looked at this crazy guy today. I was like, yeah, that was a mistake. Oh, good, here it comes. I'm trying to, like, take it back in my eyes. I was like, never mind. That's why people in the city jaywalk. They're not impatient. They're evading danger. That's what that is. I was naive. I moved here. I was like, I'm going to wait for the crosswalk. I'm going to be a good citizen. This guy's like, hey, let me talk to you. I was like, I'm walking into traffic. I think I choose death. I was hanging out at a park in Brooklyn today, and I saw a girl get catcalled. This guy, like, whistled at her, but it was a dog park, so when he whistled, like, a dog, like, came over, and he tried to play it off. He was like, good boy. Good boy. Why are all creepy guys, like, amazing whistlers? You notice? That's the one thing they all have in common. I wonder if there's one creepy guy who can't whistle. He's like, I'll never reach my full potential. And here's the thing, I can't whistle, but I'm afraid to learn because I'm afraid a mustache will just spawn on my face. And I'll start laughing like, I'll say creepy things like, did it hurt when you fell from heaven? That's the creepiest pickup line, right? Did it hurt when you fell from heaven? It's also not even a compliment that she was kicked out of heaven. That's like being like, you look like an angel that was dishonorably discharged. Or a fallen angel. Satan, you look like Satan. Your name is Ted. I've been traveling recently. I like traveling. I will say though, I was flying recently. The flight attendants have gotten a lot sassier. Yeah, you know, I don't know what the change was, but I was in the exit row for the first time, and I was like right by the window. And she went like person to person. She's like, can you assist in the event of an emergency? And everyone was like, yes. It got to me, and I was like, yes. And she was like, are you sure? She looked me up and down. She's like, the door weighs 50 pounds, you know. And I was like, I was just sitting there. I wasn't like organizing like a pack of Skittles. I'm saving the blue ones. And I was like, yes, I'm sure. Because what else am I going to be like, no. No, and then the captain comes on, is there a stronger man on board? We have a weenie in 17D. So that whole flight I was dialed in. We hit turbulence, I started stretching. The flight attendant was like, can I get you a drink? I was like, do you have muscle milk? She's like, no. I was like, give me milk and a bag of peanuts. I'll make it myself. When we landed, the first thing I did, I went to the gym because I was like, I gotta get to the bottom of this. I walked straight to the 50-pound dumbbell, and we all would have died. I know for a fact everyone would have died. And the local news would have been like, local goober kills plane full of people. Working on it. When I landed, I was alone. I had to take an Uber from the airport. No one talks about how lonely of an experience that is. Because what happened, everyone around me was like reuniting with their families. They're like hugging and crying, and I was just looking for John Woo. I want to pitch it to Uber. I think they should have a setting on the app to like fake it. You know, like what if you tip a little more and then the guy acts like your dad? Or then he shows up, he's like, Ted, I'm like, Papa? People are like, wow, that elderly Chinese man adopted a white boy. It's rare. I was in the back of an Uber recently on a date, had another kind of awkward moment. The girl at one point, she's like, I'm really warm. And she said it like she wanted me to like do something about it. I wanted to be chivalrous. What do you do when someone's too warm? I couldn't be like, if she were too cold, I'd give her my jacket, but too warm, I could be like, take off your clothes. The driver's like, you need AC? I'm like, we're fine, Papa. Chivalry confuses me. I was on a date recently and we were walking. I was walking with her by the road. We were on the sidewalk and she was like, oh, you broke the sidewalk rule. Have you heard of this, the sidewalk rule? I had never heard of it. She explained, she's like, well, a guy is supposed to walk on the outside of the sidewalk, like closer to the road. And I was like, why? She's like, because if a car comes, you can stop it. Yay, I'm a stunt double. Also, what's the delusion? I don't think I can stop a man on rollerblades. Stop a car. The standards are so high. She was also like, I only date men that are taller. They have to be taller than me. I'm like, why? Because if a plane crashes, I can just stop it with my head. And then women are like, where'd all the good men go? I'm like, I think they died. They've been struck by various forms of transportation. Cars, planes, men on rollerblades. Chivalry isn't dead, but it is killing everyone. We should stop. Oh, thanks. I was on a date recently. Have you ever been on like a first date you could tell it wasn't gonna work just by like the first word? So immediately this girl approached the table and she was like, greetings. And I was just like, it's gonna be a long night. I told my friend said, dude, you should have left. That would have been so brutal. I was just like, toodaloo. She was very logical. It wasn't very fun. She's like a fun fact girl. She'd just say fun facts. We're on a date. I'm trying to goof around, you know? And I never know how to respond to a fun fact. At one point, she's like, did you know Jupiter has 79 moons? I was like, wow. That'd be crazy if a werewolf lived there. Longest silence of my life. I was already in too deep, so I finished the thought. I was like, because one moon would make it transform to like 79. That's like a mega werewolf. Have you ever been so bored on a date you just start being yourself? When a soldier gives up, they wave a white flag. I start telling her my Shark Tank ideas. Guys, I've been Ted Barton. Enjoy the rest of the show.